This is the basic dual action hidden blade that I will be teaching you how to build in these tutorials. Be sure to click on the link in the description to find all of these blueprints. You can either go directly to the downloadable PDF files, or you can go to the video which explains how to print these out to a 1:1 scale. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to part 1 of how to make the paper hidden blade. So to start off, you want to get some paper, obviously. Here's my blueprint. It's 7 7/8 of an inch long, so it's able to fit on this paper going this direction. So all I have to do is fold a few of these over. I have 6 sheets of paper folded over in half. You want to grab your Elmer's glue all, and pretty much just do this. So I'm spreading this around on here very evenly. You want to make sure it is even, or else it won't work. Push down in the middle first, and push out toward the edges. Find something like a pencil, run all the excess air and the glue out. Alright, now repeat the same process for the other 5. After you finish that, you want to fold it again this way, so you end up with something that looks like this. So just same amount of glue on this half only, then you bring it over and run all the air out. The exact same thing. Now you are able to glue them together. Once you have them all glued together, you might want to measure, make sure it's in spec, in this case it is, and you want to cut this basic template out of this sheet of paper. Just cut around it so you don't interfere with any of these actual object lines. You're going to want to apply some glue to this and glue it on here, and do the exact same thing that we did before. Middle, and make sure all of the excess air and glue is out. After you glue it on here, I figured out that 100,000ths of an inch is about 24 layers of paper. So that's just something to note when you're building this. Now I'm going to begin cutting it out. Here's the X-Acto knife, or whatever kind of blade you're using, and you want to line it up with this straight edge here, and you just cut straight down. Now, yes, I did go over that a lot of times, but basically you want to do that because you want to do light cuts and gradually cut it. I will repeat the same process for this side. I have established that fillets are stronger than corners. You can see I have fillets drawn on here, but some of them I'm just going to cut as corners for now and make them into fillets with super glue and baking soda later. So I'm going to line it up with this edge right here and begin cutting. Alright, after you cut it, you want to take some super glue and go over the seams a little bit here, and then you want to clamp it and compress the layers together. I'm going to show you how to cut this area out right here. So you want to start off by cutting just straight down from this rounded area. Now move over to this side over here and do the exact same thing. Now you want to cut straight across here. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to cut this rounded area. Start off with a flat top, and then you cut these 2 corners, and that's all I would worry about until you file it later. Now I'm going to finish cutting around the outside. After you've made a huge mess, you want to put it under some weight, like books or something, to keep it flat so nothing warps. We're going to cut out these shapes later. So I just took it out from underneath the books and I put a little bit of super glue on here. And you don't have to do that, I just did that so I would have less work for later. So the next step would be layering up the sides. So I'm going to fold over a sheet of paper to do this. So I normally build my parts 16 layers at a time. So right here I just folded this halfway over onto itself, and I'm going to fold it over one more time, and I'm going to do this with another sheet and glue those together. Just like those 4-layer sheets at the beginning, or pieces, I'm going to glue these together and I will get 8 layers. So after all this is glued, I'm going to mark halfway on here and cut it in half. I just spread some glue on this half and I'm going to lay this over it. This is the copy of my blueprint, and I'm going to cut out the section that I need roughly on here so I can just have it cut out. Here it is. I'm going to need to replace my blade pretty soon on my X-Acto knife, but here it is. I'm going to glue it on to here, just like we did with this main piece. So after you have it glued on here, I am going to cut straight down this long line on the inside. So I just cut off that, big piece, and now I have this nice clean edge. So this should be the exact same as cutting out the outside of this. After you cut it out completely, you should be able to essentially line it up with the edge, and it should be nice and straight. Now you want to make sure you use super glue on all the edges to make sure it stays put, and you clamp down everywhere to make sure all the layers stick together. For my hidden blade, this thickness of these rectangles extending off the side of the hidden blade, they're going to be about 210 thousandths of an inch thick. I'll have it completely specified later, but that's about 3 16-layer pieces glued together. So I'm going to cut out 2 more of these and glue these all together. So I just glued all 3 of them together. Here they are. So you can see if I measure this thickness here. Yeah, around 210 thousandths, really close. So I'm just going to need a little bit of sanding there. So now you want to cut out these same shapes, but you want to exclude these 2 rectangles here. So get rid of those entirely, so it will just be this line going all the way down. Have these still there. You should have a piece that looks like this, and it doesn't have these 2 little extensions off of there. So you need 3 of these in total to reach the same thickness as this. Before you do that though, you're probably going to want to cut these little areas out of here, and you probably, if you want to make that even easier, cut it before you glue all of these together, but I did it pretty easily just like this, so it doesn't really matter. After you have all 3 pieces that don't have these extensions coming off, just go ahead and glue all 3 of these together. After you glue all 3 of them together, it should look something like this. And when you finish that, you just want to glue it right on top of here. Make sure you line up all of these spots properly. After you glue them together, it should look something like this. And I went ahead and smoothed out this side so it's extremely smooth. Super glue and baking soda, use a polish wheel or something to make it really smooth, because this is going to be on the inside and it absolutely has to be smooth. So after that, just glue it straight onto here. Just line it up with all the lines, just like this. After you glue that on there, it should look something like this. And since that piece was so much fun to make, you get to make another, unfortunately. So that's what they both look like when they're on here. Just make sure the inside is super shiny, or just smooth at least. And I usually use something like this to check to see if it's 90 degrees, completely square. So yep, it is. In case you guys don't know how to do the super glue and baking soda, you basically have some super glue, and I have a little bit of baking soda here, and you look for low spots, and any low spots you have, you put the super glue and you sprinkle some baking soda over it. And what this does is creates an epoxy type mixture that you can easily file and sand to get a very smooth finish. And after filing, it should be more smooth. You will be seeing this piece later on.